What's up? Use Your Brain episode number 2. And you'll notice, new bandana. I love it. So anyway, up to this episode of Use Your Brain, I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about why I hate the Together to the Top movement, and a little bit more detail about how I find that I'm a better person into this movement as to how I could lead it, in terms of also why I think it's a BS movement. I don't like the opinion of it. I don't like the movement of it, direction. I like that they had an idea. Athene had a great idea behind it, but it's a bullshit thing and I don't like it. I don't. So let's roll into the gameplay. This is all you get to this week, damn it. Started by Athene. Now the guy had a great idea behind it. It was, hey, we're already YouTube partners. We should take what we have now and say, hey, all these other YouTube partners, they may not be as great as we're doing right now, but hey, we could benefit them and benefit ourselves through the process of just a simple networking, and we network together. And then all that stupid networking that they put up right there, they said, oh yeah, we're doing good work and helping each other grow. Bullshit. I call it complete BS on that. Because Together to the Top is just simply putting a banner on your YouTube channel for other people to link to other people's channels who are already partnered with YouTube. That's a bullshit movement, because you know what my biggest issue with this problem is that it's for YouTube partners already. Now, I'm not saying anything against YouTube partners. I'm not saying anything to the people who follow Together to the Top movement. I like the Together to the Top people and the other people supporting the movement. I have a personal problem with the movement itself. It's because YouTube over the last, 4 years, no, maybe 3, has become a giant competition. And I'm kind of quoting somebody here from M4OA3. It's no longer about having fun, posting your own videos. YouTube has become basically a system of who can get to the top first, who can make money, who can make this into a career. And it's an acceptable way of living nowadays, which is kind of surprising, because 5 years ago, 6 years ago, what would you say to yourself? I'm making money off of YouTube. Who knew that? It's one of those things you just don't expect. Who would have thought that you could post videos up on doing things you already like to do, or maybe things you didn't like to do but you're really good at. And it's just like, you would think that would be the great way to make a career out of this. Not the best choice in the world, but obviously there is potential. And that's what happened with YouTube, is that it became this big giant race. But Together to the Top, my biggest problem is that the people who do the work that they love and stuff, they got their slice of the pie. People who started off in 2006, 2007, when YouTube was like brand new and fresh and just upcoming, people got their own slice of the pie because they started early. Obviously, it was a growing network, and there wasn't 20 billion videos already placed on the internet, so theirs were more viewed, as well as if you look back at people who are partnered, and look at the people who joined back in 2006, 2007, or even 2008, and you look at all those people who still produce videos, a good portion of them are probably partnered with either Google AdSense or YouTube. And, that's just what it is right there, is that Together to the Top is for people who went to that, they were early on into the YouTube career, and then they kind of got famous, and they're like, hey, why don't I just kind of help these other people out, and they'll help me out. Now, I've gained a massive dislike to this movement, because simply to put, there are so many uprising people in the YouTube community. There are tons of people with potential. There are people who work on other sites and want to move on, change their programming elsewhere, and they can't do it on YouTube because it's as hard as pie if you don't have. If you look at all the people who got into YouTube in the later 2010, 2011 years, you would see that there's tons and tons of people, because they hear about, oh yeah, you can post your simple gameplays up, put your commentaries up, put your vlogging up, put some stupid video you made up. And it's not to say that this isn't an acceptable lifestyle. The thing that bugged me the most is that these people don't get recognition. And I mean, in my opinion, Together to the Top should have been focused towards that, with people who have infinite amounts of potential to expand and grow, and be given that fair chance that people for Together to the Top have. Now, it's not to say, oh hey, these people are good, why don't we give them 600,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers and put them right on the top of YouTube? No. These people should work for it, but at the same time, they should, when they already reach a point of success, when they already have some sort of achievement laid down, like saying, hey, I create great videos, I've made great content, I've been very informative, or I've been very funny, or I've been very helpful to somebody else. That is like right there is the trigger to post on, a Together to the Top movement as appropriate as it should be towards like, smaller YouTube channels. And even for some people who are people who started in YouTube back in early 2006, 2007, there are still people who, don't have partnership or don't have, Together to the Top banner privileges or anything like that, because simply put, is that they were never, there was never offered the partnership, or they have a specific reason for not accepting the partnership. AKA, like, they didn't want to make money off this, or they just didn't want to get partnered, or they don't make videos anymore. What I'm saying is that there should be a new movement started. And there's been millions upon millions of channels that are created every day in YouTube, and there's thousands of people who have great amounts of potential that, they don't get noticed. Now, I'm not saying Trickers Productions is one of those channels, because God forbid, our channel is definitely not as great as all these other channels I see. I walk past them every single day. I see great content, maybe great animations, some CGI sometimes, people with just like natural music skills, and, I'm saying that the world of YouTube could be a lot better in the Together to the Top movement if they would focus more of their attention to channels that have potential. Like, I could name probably 4 channels off the bat if you gave me a couple seconds, because I can't do it right this second. If you simply give these people more subscribers, and you give them the same revenue options as some of these people have, my point is that if you give them a little bit of money, and you make this almost a little bit into a job, and they're able to put more time into what they already have fun doing, you basically created the best content out there. That's not to say, like, I'm going to use Ray William Johnson for an example. Is that the guy started off, obviously, probably wanted to do this for fun. Guy got a bunch of subscribers, and, he liked creating this content, and therefore he's one of the most subscribed people, and he makes good, decent content. I've looked at some of his videos. I'm not a big fan of him myself, because he tends to be a little repetitive. I don't want to say too much, because I don't watch all his videos, but the few that I did watch, he had some pretty funny comedy, good humor, a little bit of good script writing, and obviously that was a really good skill. But I'm talking about all these other channels. I mean, there's 20,000 channels on things like Machinima Respawn, where it's just something easy, like I captured a video, I do 10 seconds of updating the graphics quality, or maybe putting an intro and an outro, and then I do another 15 minutes of commentary, and then I chop it up as I please according to this. And that's not fair. I mean, it's not to say that the personality of the person is not interesting, but it's saying that doing that video is the easiest quality that there is out in all of video editing. I can do it. Anybody in the whole entire Trickers Productions cast can do it. I can tell CHS how to do it, and he'll do it, because he tends to be a little bit whiny when it comes to technology-related things. And I mean, it's a 5-second process, and tons of people have grown their own names off of this. And it's just, I'm not trying to like outspeak against commentators, but I'm saying is that commentating is one of the easiest things to do in YouTube, and it's been flooded. It's wrongfully flooded, which is the same thing with Together to the Top, which is what I was saying earlier, is that, I mean, thousands of, probably hundreds of commentators are probably in the Together to the Top movement, and that's not exactly fair to people who produce really good quality video. And what I'm saying is that, like, the better general gist of this entire thing that I'm just kind of ranting about here is that saying, I could start a movement, a new Together to the Top, but obviously a different name, because that one's claimed, is that the whole point of doing this is that I always wanted our channel to be a station. Much like Machinima, but better. And when I say station, I mean, you come to us and just simply say, hey, I've got content on these videos that's really attracted an audience, as well as, I put a lot of work into this one, but it didn't attract an audience, We look at that, like, physically look at it. Not just one person kind of judging it all. Sorry, Ken Burton. But, I mean, like, a community of people who, basically judge you and say, hey, I see this guy in this type of quality, I see this guy in this kind of negative community or a good community. And basically, that is the definition of a real Together to the Top. A person's personality that's interesting, or the person's content that they produce, or maybe the people's friends, or what they do on the channel. That is the good together to the top type movement that I've always wanted to believe that there is on YouTube, but it's not. It's just a big race on who can make a bunch of videos, get subscribers, get famous, and then start developing a personality. That's not a good together to the top movement. I'm simply saying is that using your brain in this situation is, wouldn't you think that the best content on YouTube or any other video sharing site should be the most rewarded, as well as people who have just started doing this for fun, and like me, I'm on the wavering side of if I'm going to try to do YouTube as a career, whereas I'm going to go into catering or culinary and keep that as a main career. Don't you think people who are kind of on that edge too, like maybe some animators, they do, they're still in college, so they're not sure what they're going to do with their life, provide these people with some subscribers or a little bit of revenue and get everything back 20-fold. Basically what I'm saying is, like, that's what I was saying with Triggers Productions being a station, is I wanted people to come to us and say, hey, you've got a lot of subscribers. I noticed you have a lot of subscribers, but at the same time you've got a lot of loyal subscribers who watch your videos. I want to post your stuff, my stuff, on your channel. And now what we do is, we would simply take the videos, post them up, where we make sure the disclaimer is there, and when we post it up, it's just simply, we post it, it's there, and anything that's earned from it is given right back to them. And then not only that is that the loyal subscribers go to their channel, and that's been the general basis for a million sponsored channels. But the biggest problem of that is that a lot of sponsored channels are just decided by the owner or the group managers of the channel. It's not decided by a community, a real well-educated community. It's decided by one to a few people. That's a monarchy. That is not a good decision. That is not democracy. I'm saying that Together to the Top movement should not be a democracy. It should be a democracy, not a monarchy. That's the end of this User Brain episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and think about the message here about Together to the Top. Would you want to start a new movement? Would you want to follow on this idea? Let me know, guys. Leave a comment below. I notice you guys don't tend to comment anymore. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. That's it now for now, guys. I'll be sure to have some actually interesting gameplay next time. I'll check you later, guys.